Alright guys, so we've got the Texas BushCraft knife. This is again a knife I've made for a faithful subscriber of mine. Been with me for a long time, as long as I've been around anyway, which hasn't been that long, but you know, great supporter, always comments on the videos, good feedback, good constructive feedback, and when he heard I was going to get into making knives, he jumped right on board and wanted one. So it took me a while, but I've got it made up. It's all finished. Finished it last night. I did have concerns about the heat treatment on it. This is 60 Rockwell hardness. It just seemed to be grinding a little too easy after heat treatment for me. It's different steel. I hadn't used O1 tool steel before. So I contacted the person heat treating it, and we discussed it. I believe it's going to be fine, but I'm not willing to ship this to Texas and have my great supporter receive this, try it, and have a problem with it, have it roll an edge real easily or anything like that. So if it's going to have trouble, it's going to have trouble now. I'm going to test it out like I test all of my knives. Any of you that watch my other channel, you're going to know what I'm talking about. I'm going to put this through a little bit of batoning, some chopping, fire starting, all that kind of stuff, and see how it does. This is my first Scandi grind that I've made. The other knives I've made before now have all been saber grind, so should be fun. This is it. It's a honking knife. It's a good size, 11-inch overall. 6-inch blade, 5.25-inch, 5.25-inch cutting surface. I'll put that on the tape just in case I get that wrong for you on a tabletop. But maple burl handles, brass thong tubing, and a little bit of some white G10 liners in there. So let's give it a go. Try batoning some stuff, try carving some wood, and just see how it does. Start off small. So far, so good. All right, guys, and you guys have seen this before. This is the Camp King Killer. Pounded several knives through this tree since, chopping through it, and had no trouble, so I expect mine to hold up just the same. Find out in a second. There we go. So held up just fine. Again, this is the first knife I've actually made with a Scandi grind on it. I put a Scandi grind on a Tops Cheetah, reground it, but this is my first from scratch Scandi knife. and I'll just show you. Of course, it's all kind of beat up now, but the edge is still perfectly fine. No bends or warps, no chips. Still shaves very nicely. So yeah, I'm going to go in and rebuff this, bring it back to new, get the wood off of it, and ship it to Texas tomorrow. So I'm happy with that. So I'll rebuff it, get it where it needs to be, and get it in front of the camera for you on the tabletop, and give you a little more detail on it. So thanks, guys. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you the way this drop Tek Lok works. Say you've got a rucksack or a big camping backpack with a nice thick padded waistband like this Everly stock. The way I made some of my sheaths and other sheaths I've seen, they sit pretty much right on your belt line, and that's your handle is above that. With this drop bracket for the Tek Lok, it pulls it down and away, so it leaves us lots of space in here for our belt, for our actual weight retaining belt on the rucksack or camping backpack. So as you can see, there's lots of room to get in there, take it in and out. It doesn't affect anything here. It's nice and comfortable. Stays clear of the buckle. You take it off. I can slide it back in, put it back on. It's pretty handy. Keeps it easily accessible. It doesn't really get in the way. It does, again, cant out, which is handy to be able to get at it easily, and you're not rubbing up against your side, trying to get your hand in behind it or anything like that. So, pretty handy. Alright guys, so this is my Texas BushCraft knife. Again, I made this for a subscriber to my Canadian Sheepdog channel and to my Northeastern Blades channel. He's always on my Facebook, checking out my updates, all that kind of stuff. So, great supporter. And Michael, I thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Very proud to make this knife. Just give you guys a little bit of detail on it. This has stabilized maple burl handles. Pretty cool. With brass thong tubing. White G10 liners. We've got a choil and a Scandi grind. This is my first Scandi grind. I have been doing saber grinds up to this point, and it's turned out quite well. Almost looked like there's a secondary bevel there by the light, but there's not. There we go. Goes right down to nothing. Nice and sharp. I was just outside beating on this thing a little bit. Started a little bit of a fire with it, and I came back in, threw it on the buffer, cleaned it up for Michael. I wanted to make sure to send this obviously looking like new. I had a concern about the heat treatment, which I've now put my mind at ease about. I just didn't want to send it off and have him deal with it if there was a problem. But it's plenty sharp. It's 3/16 thick. Did again a Scandi grind, which is fairly high, so it's fairly thin down to the edge, but seemed to hold up good to the punishment. So yeah, let's get some measurements here. 6-inch overall blade length with a 5 1/4 inch cutting surface. We have the finger choil. The handle itself is 5 inches long. We are looking at 1.5 inches deep on the blade, and again 3/16 thick. Nice heavy stock. We have a Kryptek Highlander camo sheath for it with the drop attachment on a Tek Lok. Again, as I showed you guys, it drops it down and out just to keep it out of the way of your pack. Fits really nice, absolutely no rattle. All I can hear is the lanyard flopping around here. Let me hold the lanyard. Really nice, good firm fit. Comes out really nice and smooth. Doesn't scrape the surface anywhere. Inside's nice and clean. Keeping that good polish. I got myself a new buffer, which I'm really enjoying. It's nice putting a better finish on these. I've actually had a few friends that I made knives for bring me back their knives today so that I could throw them on the buffer. I didn't feel right sending this out to somebody knowing how a couple of the earlier ones looked without the better gear here. So now that I have a few more tools and I can do a little better finish on the blades, I've essentially recalled a few that I could, as I had sold a few locally that were easy to get back in my hands. So this is the first one I have being shipped out. I'm really excited. I want to get this in its owner's hands and get some feedback from him. I know he's been watching constantly my updates and trying to keep track, as it's not cheap to make a custom knife. So I really appreciate the support again, for sure. And I'm excited to get some feedback on it. I've got a couple more sold as well. I've got one sold to a fellow YouTuber in Ontario. I'll go ahead and share that information with you once it's done. And I believe he's going to do a video for me as well, giving a bit of his feedback and what his impressions are. So yeah, that's again, I'm calling this the Texas BushCraft knife. It is on its way to Texas. It is not a classic BushCraft blade. I am well aware of that, but everything is bigger in Texas, so they say. And the purchaser suggested that name, and I think that's cool. I think it'll stick. So if I do make any more of these, that will be the name of this blade in my inventory, is the Texas BushCraft knife. Let me know what you guys think. Said I'm still new to this, working away. I've got a few projects under my belt. I like to think I'm getting better as I go. Definitely still going to be some issues that I'm going to have to work through, including, you know, breaking scales and having to redo them and all that. But my goal is not to ship anything out that I'm not happy with, or that I think my customer wouldn't be happy with. Fingerprints on there. But I get this all cleaned up. And I won't be doing testing videos on all of the blades that I make for people. I just was unwilling, again, to hand this to somebody without being sure of the heat treatment. I've been through that before. Any of you guys that subscribe to my Canadian Sheepdog channel have seen it. I've run across blades that are mass-produced and or not, small shop as well, that just happen to miss it, and had chips and had problems with them. I don't want that to happen. I'm just making these one at a time, so there's no reason I shouldn't be confident with each knife. Things can happen, of course, but being such a small number that I'm putting out, there's no reason anything should go out without me being sure of it. So if I do have any concerns when it comes back from heat treatment, like in this case, it was likely just my inexperience. Essentially, I thought it was a little too easy to grind after it came back, to put the final grinding on it, final bevel. Turns out maybe it was just me not used to working with 01 tool steel. because it's held up just fine. It's 60 Rockwell hardness and seems to perform really well. I'm happy with it. I'm sure its new owner's going to be happy with it, and I'll keep the projects coming. So I should have a couple more off to heat treat this week, and I believe I'm expecting 2 back very shortly as well. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe, please. Go to my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, Northeastern Blades on Facebook, and go ahead and check out my progress there. I post up videos or pictures pretty frequently of the process, whether it's good or bad. If I break a handle, you're going to see that I broke a handle scale and had to redo it, or if I mess up a blade and need to start from scratch, you're going to see that too. So, but let me know what you think. Keep in touch. Have a good day.